Ever find yourself captivated? Yeah, captivated by like the artistry at the butcher shop,
Hmm.
the way they effortlessly break down a side of beef, transforming it into, culinary masterpieces.
Hmm.
Well, get ready to dive into that world because today we're exploring the ins and outs of becoming a butcher, all thanks to RoleCatcher's incredible career guide.
It's funny you should say artistry because this profession is truly a blend of skill and craft, steeped in history and tradition.
Okay, so let's break this down. What does a butcher actually do all day?
Right.
Beyond the obvious meat maestro duties.
Well, think of it as a delicate dance. Yeah, a delicate dance between physical dexterity,
Okay.
knowing the science of meat, and surprisingly, good old-fashioned customer service.
Oh,
We're talking sourcing, inspecting, understanding different cuts like the back of their hand, ensuring quality and safety.
hmm.
It's a much more multifaceted role than many realize.
I'm already starting to see beyond the butcher's counter, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But let's be real. What's the work environment really like?
Right.
Those meat lockers can't be kind on a cold winter morning.
You're not wrong about that. It's definitely not your typical 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It can be physically demanding with long hours on your feet, working in those chilly temperatures, and of course being up close and personal with, well, meat. It's not for the squeamish,
Yeah.
but that's where the passion comes in.
Speaking of passion, RoleCatcher's Guide highlights both the rewards and the challenges of this career path.
Right.
Let's start with the good stuff. What are the perks of being a butcher?
Well, for one, the earning potential can be quite impressive. We're talking a median salary of, say, $40,000 to $50,000 per year, with experienced butchers in specialized fields like those who've mastered dry aging techniques
Right.
or charcuterie, often earning significantly more.
Mm.
And in this day and age, job security is like gold dust, which is another big tick in the butcher's column.
It's true. A good butcher is hard to find.
Yeah.
And there's something really satisfying about having a tangible skill, creating something with your hands.
Absolutely.
But let's not shy away from it. There must be some downsides too, right?
Absolutely. It's physically demanding work, no doubt about it. You're on your feet a lot, lifting heavy carcasses, working with sharp knives.
Yeah.
It's a workout, and it can be repetitive. Plus, let's just say, not every day is going to be a picnic for your olfactory senses.
You're telling me.
Mhm.
But for those who are drawn to it, I imagine those challenges are part of what makes the work so rewarding.
Right.
RoleCatcher's Guide also mentioned clear career progression in this field. What does that journey look like from newbie to master butcher?
It's a bit like a culinary boot camp
Mhm.
with a clear path to climb,
Yeah.
You usually start as an apprentice, learning the ropes, mastering basic cuts, and getting comfortable with the tools of the trade.
Right.
It's about precision, you see, understanding how to handle different knives for different cuts.
So it's not just about wielding a big cleaver?
Not at all. You've got boning knives, scimitars, even this curved blade called a mezzaluna for finely mincing herbs,
Wow.
each with its own purpose and technique.
Wow, I'm learning so much already.
As you progress to a junior butcher, you're given more responsibility. Handling customer orders, maybe even butchering primal cuts into those beautiful steaks and roasts you see in the display case.
It's like leveling up in a video game, but with real-life skills.
Exactly. And finally, you reach the peak senior butcher. You're managing inventory, training new recruits, ensuring those quality standards are met,
Yeah.
becoming a mentor, a leader in the craft.
That's quite a journey.
Yeah.
And what about that title I keep hearing about Master Butcher? It sounds almost mythical.
It is a mark of distinction, that's for sure. It represents a deep encyclopedic knowledge of meat science.
Okay.
Think about it. Understanding the anatomy of different animals, knowing the nuances of various cuts, mastering advanced techniques like dry aging or charcuterie.
Right.
It's years of dedicated practice and passion.
It sounds like the culinary equivalent of earning a black belt.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of evolving, one thing that struck me in RoleCatcher's Guide was the emphasis on technology in this industry.
Right.
You don't usually picture butchers on their iPads, so how is technology changing the game?
It's fascinating, isn't it? You're right. It might seem counterintuitive, but technology is revolutionizing the way butchers work.
Yeah.
Take online platforms, for instance. They're connecting farmers directly with butchers, creating transparency in sourcing, and giving butchers access to a wider variety of meats.
So they can cater to those discerning palates looking for ethically sourced or specialty cuts.
Precisely. And then there are these incredible advancements in cutting equipment. We're talking laser-precise slicers, bandsaws with safety features that would make even the most experienced butcher raise an eyebrow, and don't even get me started on the world of meat grinders.
It sounds like the tools themselves are becoming more specialized, allowing for even greater precision and artistry.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the power of social media. Butchers are using platforms like Instagram to showcase their skills, share their knowledge, connect with customers in a way that was unimaginable even a decade ago.
Yeah.
It's a whole new world of butcher-customer interaction.
It's like bringing the behind-the-scenes magic of the butcher shop directly to people's fingertips. It
Yeah.
makes you realize it's not just a job, it's a craft, an art form.
Mm-hmm.
So for anyone listening who might be inspired to try their hand at butchery, what are some essential skills they'd need to master? It feels like more than just knowing your cuts of meat. What would you say are the absolute must-haves to make it in the world of butchery?
Well, it goes without saying, knife skills are non-negotiable.
Right.
It's about precision, agility, knowing the right knife for the job. But it's not just about wielding those knives.
Oh.
It's understanding what you're working with. A
Right.
deep knowledge of different cuts, their textures, how to best prepare them. That's what sets a good butcher apart.
So it's like being a meat sommelier, guiding customers to the perfect cut for their needs.
Exactly. You're reading my mind. And let's not forget those all-important food safety regulations. We're talking about handling raw meat here, so hygiene, storage, understanding temperatures, it's paramount.
It makes you appreciate the level of expertise behind that counter. Speaking of which, RoleCatcher mentioned AI playing a larger role in recruitment.
Right, yeah.
In such a competitive job market, how can someone make their application stand out, especially to those algorithms?
That's a great question. With AI, it's all about highlighting those keywords.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, good knife skills, mention specific techniques you've mastered, like French boning or breaking down a whole lamb.
So it's about getting granular, really showcasing your expertise.
Precisely. If you have experience with specialty cuts or unique butchering traditions, shout it from the rooftops. It's about demonstrating that passion, that deep knowledge that sets you apart. And never underestimate the power of a good cover letter. A chance to tell your story, your culinary journey, and why you're a perfect fit for that butcher shop.
It's like adding that personal touch, reminding everyone there's a real person behind those skills. This deep dive has been an eye-opener. I'm looking at my local butcher in a whole new light, with a newfound respect for their craft. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners who might be feeling inspired to explore the world of butchery a little further?
Next time you're at the butcher shop, don't just grab your usual order. Strike up a conversation. Ask about a cut you've never tried, their favorite way to prepare it, or maybe even what inspired them to become a butcher. You might be surprised at the stories they have to share.
I love that. It's about making that connection, understanding the passion and dedication behind every perfectly sliced steak or succulent roast. Well, there you have it, folks, a deep dive into the fascinating world of butchery. Until next time, happy listening, and remember, don't be afraid to talk to your butcher.